Welcome back, and we're now moving on to our Picks of the Week, where we talk about movies, TV shows, or games that we've been playing or watching recently, and we think that you, the lovely audience, our listeners, our fellow gamers and movie watchers out there might be interested in watching as well, or playing. So, without further ado, Chris, my friend, what's been tickling your fancy this week?
Well, I have been watching a ton of TV and movies here lately, for the BSG podcast, but also my wife and I have just been watching a ton of shows because towards the evening, we just have a lot of free time lately. But we got into a new show called Lovecraft Country. Have you guys heard of this?
Yes.
No.
Oh my God. It is insanely cool. So it's based on a book that's based on the Lovecraft works. But the story basically follows this guy named Atticus Freeman who comes home from the war, like in 1950s. It's like Jim Crow America, so it's very like volatile for Atticus and his family. He has an uncle named George who does an annual like journal, I guess, where he distributes to other African Americans to let them know where the safe places are to travel, like with the United States. So he has like a very kind of dangerous job in of itself. But basically, Atticus, he comes home and he finds out that his father has gone missing. And all this just really, and he decides to leave and go on this trip to find his father. But at the same time, his uncle George decides to come with him because it's time for him to do a new, like his annual trip to try to find new places that are safe or maybe not safe for his book. And then in addition to, to Uncle George, this other girl who's like a local that lives in there and they've grown up together, she goes with them. But they just, they're searching for his father. All this just weird stuff starts happening, and it's very Lovecraftian. Like, like if you've seen a lot of the different types of like monsters and stuff in Lovecraft lore, a lot of these things are there. It's just super creepy. It's really well done. I love it. It's just got this really kind of cool mix between Lovecraft and horror and like 1950s, like civil rights era America. And it's a really weird combination. But it's done so well. Like the casting and the acting is very top notch. I would if you like anything, if this sounds like it might be up your alley, I definitely suggest you check it out. It's only 2 episodes have been released so far. I think they release every Sunday night, so it's probably in that like kind of Game of Thrones time slot there for HBO. If I didn't say that, it is on HBO. But man, if you can find a way to check it out, I definitely suggest it. Lovecraft Country is bad.
What are you watching it on at the moment, if anyone does want to watch it?
I mean, what do you mean? Like,
are you just watching it on TV, or are you watching it on a streaming service, or?
Yeah, it's like the HBO via Amazon Prime or whatever. We just use our Amazon Fire Stick.
Okay.
That way.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Cool. Yeah. Nice.
Update. I just got a Fire Stick.
Woohoo! Now you can watch.
I haven't set it up yet. It's been literally sitting in the box for a week and a half, but it's here.
What are you doing to me? So not like
I painted a goddamn fence over the weekend. I've done nothing.
And
else.
You should have celebrated with a lovely Fire Stick opening ceremony.
I didn't want to move. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds really good.
I'll add it to the list.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch that over here because hard to get. Oh, it might be. We have something called Now TV, which is run by a company called Sky, which often gets HBO stuff. So like Game of Thrones came out on there. So I was able to watch the last season of Game of Thrones basically the same time as it came out in America. So maybe this could be on there. I'll check it out and see if I can find it on Now TV.
Yeah, I think you'd like it.
You could probably update, quote unquote, your Fire Stick in a certain way to get it somehow, Graham, I'm sure.
I do not own a Fire Stick.
Well, there's your. Why are you getting mad at me for not setting mine up?
I don't need all my apps like on the Xbox, or I've got a Now TV
Oh,
Stick, which has all that stuff on it already. So yeah, I have a Fire Stick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. Yes, perfect. Scotty. Well, did you have anything else to say, Scotty or Chris, on that? Or
Not really.
no? Cool. Scotty in the Mo with Diamonds. How's it going?
Yep, that's my name now this week. So I bet everybody thought I wouldn't talk about Tony Hawk this week. You're wrong. Nope, we're not going to talk about Jack Black being possibly in the game. That's go Google that, everybody. The documentary "Pretending I'm a Superman," the Tony Hawk video game story released. You can find it on YouTube, Google Play, and Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video. But it is this was not timed to release with the announcement of Tony Hawk 1 and 2 or anything like that. This was already in the works. So, but it's a documentary on the skater community and how they came together to put this game out and just destroy numbers and make a huge franchise. It's very cool. A lot of the info I kind of knew through different interviews and different just sources, and kind of always being a fan of the series and stuff. But it was cool to have everything together in one movie. And it was just really cool to hear how in a community where it's very easy to be like that, damn the man, like don't sell out and all that stuff. They still it helped skating, and it was just insane how it affected. It's a feel good documentary. I won't say how far it goes into the franchise, but they did touch on Tony Hawk Ride and Tony Hawk Shred though. Wow, anybody remember those where you had the actual skateboard peripheral?
I remember that. I never
vaguely. I think in my head I was picturing someone on a skateboard peripheral, but yeah, I couldn't remember it.
Yeah, I tried it. I didn't. Well, actually, no, I didn't ever try the game. People tried to trade them in forever at GameStop, and we never took the skateboards in. Never. Wow. So we had like $2 and $3 games that people could buy and not have the skateboards for. I did almost break my neck on one of those stupid things. Big surprise! It was for an unboxing video. But it was for an unboxing video for Sonic Colors. Anyway. This is a cool little documentary. I have been watching. This isn't going in my picks, but I just wanted to let people know I have started watching High Score, the video game docu-series on Netflix. Not sure how I feel about that yet, but maybe next week it'll be a pick. I don't know.
I've had a lot of people message me on, just that are on Facebook. They're like, "Oh, you'll like this." The problem with I watched the trailer and the interviews are fine. The production and stuff of it looks great, but it just looks like the same interviews that we've been doing for like the past 5 or 6 years. Like you've got Tom Kalinske, you got, you got the guys from Nintendo or EA. It's just the same people are talking about the same stuff again. I don't know what this documentary has going for it that hasn't already been done, a dozen times by now.
It's more easily available to the public since it's on Netflix. That's really it. Because I mean, Megavision's reviewed the Not for Resale documentary recently, and the creator of that even said in like the behind the scenes stuff, like they started out thinking, let's do a documentary on video games, but then they were like, how in the world do we possibly cover that in one movie's worth of a documentary? So it makes sense that this is a docu-series. But I don't want to. I've watched 1.5 episodes, so I don't want to say that I can recommend it or not yet. But I have learned some cool stuff in it. But tailoring back to, I just mainly wanted to mention that because I'm sure someone will ask us about it if we don't mention it this week since it just came out. But Pretending I'm a Superman is cool and fun, and I recommend it to anyone that enjoys that stuff, or maybe doesn't even care about those games, but to just kind of learn like how crazy. It was a big impact on the video game industry. And what was funny is when... Oh, shoot! I didn't even mention that I played ESPN Extreme Games. I did try that out and stuff that I got back in my haul. But it was funny because I was looking up stuff for that, and it wasn't mentioned in the documentary, but stuff I found for that game was like... This was pre-Tony Hawk, so this was the only, like... Other than 720 and Skate or Die, like you had ESPN Extreme Games where you raced on skateboards and stuff. There wasn't really any extreme sports type games yet. And I'm like, maybe that's why I thought this game was so awesome back then. I can talk more about that another time. But Pretending I'm a Superman is fun. It's cool. It's not the best documentary I've seen, but I enjoyed watching it.
Nice.
So
awesome.
Check it out.
Cool. So my pick of the week, and I'm wondering if this is actually available to you guys in America, but it is a Netflix made movie, or like as part of, I don't know if Netflix commissioned it or they just happened to. It's basically it's a Netflix original movie, called Eurovision Song Contest: The Story of Fire Saga. A, have you guys heard of it? And B, is it available?
Dude.
Okay, good.
This is the thing with Will Ferrell, right?
Yes, that's right. Why
the hell wouldn't a Will Ferrell movie be available in America?
Because, do you know what the Eurovision Song Contest is?
No, I had no idea. I didn't know what this was about or anything.
So that's the thing. This is a massive thing in Europe and even Australia as well, which I'll explain in a second. But for the audience at home, like especially for the American audience, I guess, because you probably wouldn't know about it. Every year since, sorry, I actually have to double check when it first started.
I was just laughing at your bullet points because the second bullet point is funny. just the word funny.
So the Eurovision Song Contest is a real life thing that started in 1956. So it's very old now. It's like nearly 70 years old, like 64 years old or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, it's been going on a while. It is literally a song contest. That's lots of European countries get involved in, essentially. And there's there's like all the different countries, like, the UK, France, Germany, like lots of main ones, and like, who are in every year. So like England's always in it, or the UK is always in it. France is always in it. And there's a few other countries, I can't remember them now. They're always in it. But then there's other countries, within Europe, and also Australia, who they compete essentially almost like an X Factor or, The Voice style show. This is actually a really bad explanation for this, but they basically they compete almost to get into the Eurovision Song Contest. So have like a sort of Song for Europe kind of like deal where the different nations and like judges vote for the contestants to come in, and then eventually they have the final live show where it's basically broadcast at the same time across the whole of Europe and Australia, as I say, where we get to watch it. We also get to do like a live vote and stuff. So we call up, or if you've got an app, you can use the app to vote for your favorite nation and your favorite song. The only rule is that you can't vote for your own country. And there's also real judges as well. So when it comes to the scoring system, basically they all play the song. They all play, like the bands come up and they play a song and stuff, and then we do the votes, and you get the scoring system's a bit weird, but basically you get a certain number scoring 1 to 12 that then gets allocated to each nation, each song effectively. And that's by the judges, and then the popular, like they call it the popular vote, which is basically the public's vote, then also gives them extra points as well to the song. Sorry, this is a really bad explanation, but basically it's like a really.
You just say it's just like it's a music game show where people compete.
But it's not a game show. That's the thing. It's basically just a fun big almost concert, like almost. But okay, it's like that's the worst way of describing it. If I tell someone it's an American Idol, it's like an American Idol. Screw it.
It's a pageant. It's a pageant.
Okay, that'll do. It's a pageant. There we go. But
yeah, it's a talent show or whatever. Yeah,
it's like a talent show. But the fun thing is, the songs they do are always so different. And it's sort of, do you know? I assume you know who ABBA is. Like, do you know ABBA? Please tell me you know. Good. So like they were one of those acts that were really big. And they made Eurovision like even bigger as well at the time, because it's like those fun, catchy songs they do. And there's loads of like sort of weird, just fun songs that come out of it. And then you also get some like really different songs, like some more sort of slower songs and ballads. You also get some really heavy rock music that come out of there. Like, have you heard of Lord? I think it's Lordy or Lord. Is it Lord? I can't remember how you pronounce it. They're this rock metal band who like wear like orc masks and stuff and like look really kind of creepy and scary. They were big, they were big in the early mid 2000s. I can't remember.
I'm sure they toured with Guar.
They might have done. I don't know.
How do you spell it? Do you know how they spell their name?
I think it's Lordi.
Oh, yep. Okay, found them.
Yeah, Lordi. They're a Finnish rock metal band, and yeah, they surprisingly, I think they won it one year. They actually won it in 2006 with Hard Rock Hallelujah. And yeah, it's a great event that happens every year. And Netflix made this movie called Eurovision Song Contest, the Fire Saga story. The Story of Fire Saga. Sorry. And it's a Will Ferrell comedy with Rachel McAdams. It's got Pierce Brosnan in it, and some other people. And it's basically Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams they're playing Icelandic, like a pair of Icelanders. Icelandic. How do you pick? So people from people from Iceland.
Ice climbers. Ice climber brothers.
Wow. And from a young age, they both wanted to be in the Eurovision Song Contest, and they grow up and they're like in their sort of late 40s and they've made nothing of their lives. They keep trying to make music, and they come from a small town and everyone hates them. Like, well, they don't hate them. They think they're a big joke. But through a series, through a series of events, they actually get to be the participants to represent Iceland at the Eurovision Song Contest, and they have to go through like stages to like get into the final. And I thought it was a very fun movie. It's not the most hilarious movie out there, but I did find it very fun. It really, especially if you've watched Eurovision in the past, because it kind of does take a piss out of Icelandic people a little bit, which you might think is a bit on the nose, especially like in the modern climate, as it were. But they actually take the piss out of everybody, like not just Icelandic people, but because I've been to Iceland. Iceland's amazing. It's such a lovely country, and the people there are amazing. But they take a piss out of the UK people. They take a piss out of Americans. They take a piss out of like Russians and stuff. I just thought it was really funny. And like, there's a funny joke basically for the UK in like the last 15 years or so. We've done terribly in this contest. There was a period where we're actually quite good and we got good scores and stuff. But as like, basically, it seems like that. Basically, most of Europe seems to hate the UK, especially with Brexit and stuff happening. And there's just like a couple of really funny bits. Like this guy's like introducing them to all these other Eurovision Song Contest participants, and basically he's sort of saying, "Oh yeah, this is the UK guy, UK girl, even sorry. Yeah, she won like Britain's Got Talent or whatever, like recently, and she's pretty good, but everyone hates the UK, so she's not going to win," sort of thing. Like. I don't know, there's just lots of funny things like that in it. I thought it was really, really fun, really entertaining, and yeah, I feel like for Americans, if you don't know what the Eurovision Song Contest, this is almost the perfect example of how to get into it. And the reason why I kept mentioning Australia before was, weirdly, and I still don't know how this happened, weirdly, Eurovision Song Contest has been really big in Australia. Like they watch it every year. Like millions of people in Australia watch every year. And it's weird because it's on such an awkward time for them. Like it's on a sort of our evening, which is like basically the middle of the night or very early morning for them. So it's not an appropriate good time, but they've watched it so much over there, and like it got broadcast to so many people over there. For the last 3 or 4 years, Australia has had an entry in the Eurovision Song Contest. So they've actually had representatives from their country to sing in the contest, and they've done pretty well every year, actually. But it's just like a really weird thing that like it's only open to European countries, really. But now Australia's in it, which is fantastic. And the winner each year, the winner that wins in that year, the show is then held at that country, in that nation's country. So if the UK won it, we'd hold it, for example, and then if France wins it, it'll be held in France. It's a really good thing. It's been going on, as I say, for like over 60 years. It's really Good. And the movie as well, I found very entertaining. I'm so sorry. I'm really bad at explaining things.
You wonder why we don't understand your feature ideas sometimes. I'm just busting your balls. But no, so after that fucking encyclopedia entry of what this thing is, you could have said it is the Olympics combined with any talent show or American Got Talent, whatever garbage, with the voting or not the voting, but with like how the countries are quote unquote competing against each other.
Yes,
it sounds
there you go
like that in that respect. So
you just summed it up nicely.
We can boil this whole section into like a 10-second clip.
I feel like I need to make better notes.
Honestly, I think I zoned out like halfway through your explanation, and then I came back, and I don't even know why Chris was laughing, but I started laughing. This is why we don't do the show at night, I guess.
You said maybe I need to take better notes, and his second bullet on his notes is funny.
I've still got that camping hangover. That's what's happening right now, and it's nearly 2 a.m. here. So just so you know, it's nearly 2 a.m. Oh wow!
I love you, Graham.
Yeah, and also, do you know who Graham Norton is at all?
Yeah, he's a douchebag.
Right?
Whoa! Hey, you calm down.
No, there's plenty of shit that's come out recently saying that he's a total asshole.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that then.
Yeah, I've enjoyed his show in the past, though. Okay.
Well, douchebag or not, he in real life he is the they eat blah, 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 blah. I don't have to long explanation again, but basically each broadcasting country has their own, I guess, not narrators, the wrong word, host, almost like talking throughout the show, like talking about the acts and stuff in your native language. So for the UK, for the last like 10 or 15 years, Graham Norton has been that person. So he's actually in the movie as well. And the great thing about Graham Norton is, as he's doing like his commentator, that's the word, as he's doing the commentary on Eurovision in real life, he always has these like sarcastic remarks and like digs at like the different countries, and also the UK like people just makes fun of like everything that's going on. Like if someone's got a ridiculous costume on, he'll make fun of that. And in the show, he's basically doing the same thing. And I think it's a lovely touch they added him in. And also, if you really are into Eurovision, they actually have a lot of cameos from real Eurovision winners and participants from the recent years and stuff, which I thought was also a really nice touch. There we go. That's my really long explanation of a movie I think people might enjoy. Wow. But yeah, if you don't know,
like Anchorman, Mean Girls, James Bond, here you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe even a bit of Pitch Perfect in there as well. I feel like that's a movie that might represent it, because that's a movie about singing in competitions. And I'll shut up now.
There you go. All right. So edit all that so that all you say is Olympics, Pitch Perfect, Graham Norton. Funny.
Brilliant. There you go. Wow. Yeah, and I guess that wraps up our picks of the week. And
picks of the week
would normally go on to our feature, but this week we're doing something a bit new. We have no feature. That's partly down to my camping hangover and not being prepared enough to actually set something up properly for us. So blame that on me, I guess. So if you love listening to our features, please let us know. But for this week, we're actually not going to have one. So we'll be back.
Cut it.
Hopefully with a normal schedule next week, and more alive, and hopefully I'll be able to communicate a little bit better off and on air. I don't know. But is there anything else to add, chaps? At all?
I just, you know what, Graham, you impressed me with the old college try on this one. You've been out living in the woods, and you've just, like we were saying before, I think you've just kind of succumbed to your baser instincts, and you've kind of reverted to the old ways. And so just coming back in here and doing a podcast with all this technology, I think your body's just in a little bit of shock.
That could be it. I'm not used to looking at a screen, that's for sure. It's a bit weird.
Sorry, we don't have any apple cider here. I'm sure it was hard. Oh, man.
Wow.
No, I by the time this is out, we may have released the Dreamcast Dreamless 24-hour marathon schedule.
Ooh.
That is a big thing, and plan your day around it. And we're giving away a Dreamcast to the most active and longest person in the chat. And I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. We'll see who's better at Quake 3 Arena Online, me or Graham. Who knows?
It's going to be you. I suck at that game so much.
All right, well, don't tune in. Forget about it. It's done.
Although, maybe I'll practice. I'll probably get a few hours practicing against the bots, which are never as good as real players. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I do recommend practicing that, though. But yeah, we're doing that. Raising money for Extra Life. Gonna try to get $500, maybe beat a couple of other I will say, look at the schedule, check those out. There's different tier goals for our donations that will play certain games if we hit those goals. Sonic Shuffle's back again, so if we can raise $666, people, we'll stop everything and play that godforsaken game.
Oh no, we'll do it. But my God, that was painful last time
for the kids.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay.
Otherwise, we do our regular ads in between. So I got nothing else unless you guys do.
I'm good.
Excellent. Well, that will wrap up the show for this week. Hope you all enjoyed it. As always, let us know what your thoughts, any feedback, any comments, whatever. Just get in touch. We love it. So yeah, catch you later.
See ya.